All right, we are talking about your favorite thing, and that is running back sleepers. I got 5 big fantasy football running back sleepers here for you guys in this episode. And I've also got another gift for you guys. This is very, very important because football is back, and I've got a gift. So what this gift is, guys, is very simple. I've teamed up with Hooters, and every time you guys have takeout or delivery, you can save $10 on your order of $30 or more at Hooters, guys. So Hooters.com, download the app or go to Hooters.com, of course. I've also left a link here below on YouTube. Guys, football's back. What is football without good food? And of course, I love ordering those wings. Absolutely delicious, enhancing my game watching experience, guys. Hooters is where I hang out. Hooters is what I order in, and you can save yourself $10. Use promo code, very easy, guys, FFC20 for Fantasy Football Counselor. FFC20, save yourself that $10 again, guys, of an order of 30 or more, takeout or delivery. Hooters.com or go download the app. Now, let's get into this episode, guys. We are talking about running back sleepers. Here we go. We are ready to roll into it, guys. 5 big-time running back sleepers here for you. If you have not gotten 16-round draft solution, I'm representing the shirt here. Make sure you guys grab it. Use code TUBE20. That's TUBE 20. 16-round draft solution. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players drafted each round. Full mock drafts. It's like having me at the draft with you, and I'm handing you guys the championship on a silver platter. Get the 16-round draft solution. Crush your leagues, guys. I'm bringing the energy. I'm so pumped. I'm watching preseason. I've got it going on in the background here while I'm recording the show. I'm pumped because football's back. So get 16 rounds, crush your leagues, leave a thumbs up here, and join the Fantasy Frontlines Patreon group linked it below for direct access to me, direct live Q&As with me, guys. The only place to get exclusive access, and of course, exclusive podcasts. Everything you guys need. Amazing community. Patreon. Join the front lines in battle with me, the counselor. Linked it below. Let's dive into the show, guys. 5 big-time running back sleepers right here, right now. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Are these guys big-time sleepers, or am I just, talking out of my, what? I think they are. I believe these guys are big-time slept on. I think there's a high ceiling, and, we're going to talk about it. So let me know in the comments who your sleeper is and what you guys think of these guys, all right? So let's dive into it. The first running back sleeper here, big-time sleeper, and I got to go with this guy, and I'm all high on him, and the guy I'm talking about is Kenneth Walker, 5'10", 210-pound Kenneth Walker on the Seattle Seahawks, drafted by the 2nd round by the Seahawks, and there's a huge void there. Carson is now retired, right, due to the injury, throat injury, plate in his neck, understandably so. He has to retire, guys, health first, right, and I respect that. So in comes Kenneth Walker, obviously drafted, high draft capital for a reason, because the Seahawks knew that Carson was going to retire. So they make an educated decision, a smart one, and draft Kenneth Walker the third. Again, 5'10", 210 pounds, guys, out of Michigan State. When you look at this guy, you think and see workhorse. That's just the bottom line. This guy was a workhorse in college, and he's going to continue to be a workhorse with the NFL and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, you ask yourself, well, Rashaad Penny's there, guys. I don't know if you guys heard, but Rashaad Penny actually had a groin injury today. Yes, he had a groin injury, and we haven't even started the season. So what does that tell you guys? This guy can't finish seasons. He can't finish games. He can't do anything. And if you look at Kenneth Walker's stats in college, he was and is a workhorse. So he's in an opportunity to really, really succeed, and he will succeed, guys. He will succeed this year. He will be the workhorse guy, and he will crush it for you guys, okay? So everyone's hyped up on Rashaad Penny. I'm not. I'm just not sold on Rashaad Penny. Years still wow me. We're not wow. I look at statistically Rashaad Penny's stats, and let's dive into it real quickly because I got nothing to hold back here. I look at Rashaad Penny's stats, and if you look at him, his touchdowns, guys, for Rashaad Penny over the past couple years, 5 touchdowns in 3 seasons. He had a good season last year. He had his 749 yards, 119 attempts, 6.3 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns on the ground. I get it. He had himself a decent campaign near the end of the season, right? But Rashaad Penny can't stay healthy. The guy played 3 games in 2020. Played 10 games in 2019, 14 games in 2018, 10 games in 2021. Can't stay healthy. Kenneth Walker is in a position to really thrive. And I want to emphasize that point, guys. So if you are looking at Kenneth Walker this year, draft with confidence. I mean, what round? 6th round, right? He's going to come off because, again, a lot of people are seeing the upside. They're going to be desperate for running back, especially those guys going 0 RB, getting those wide receivers early. They're going to be trying to get themselves a winner like Kenneth Walker. So I see the upside. I see the value. And a guy like Kenneth Walker right now, believe it or not, guys, this is why I love the value, because you're seeing an RB1 sitting 37th on the Concheapsis rankings, guys. Again, this is a guy is going to be an RB1. I'm not concerned about Penny. Penny sucks. I don't care if he was drafted in the 1st round back in 2018. He sucks. So Kenneth Walker sitting 37th amongst running backs in PPR, which is ludicrous. Like Hilaire is sitting ahead of him. Miles Sanders, J.K. Dobbins, Antonio Gibson, Damian Harris, Singletary, Melvin Gordon, and he's already banged up as well, sitting ahead of Kenneth Walker. Love him. Big-time sleeper. Draft him. Make sure you get him at the right ADP a round or two before you think he's going to come off, because someone's going to snipe him in your draft, and you're going to be upset when he breaks out. All right? So, Kenneth Walker. Second guy here, when I look at his college stats, not as big workhorse type stats out of Damian Pierce, 5'10", 215, but that's my guy, Damian Pierce. I was talking to the beat writer, Marlon Mack should get the start, but Damian Pierce looking impressive in camp. His college numbers, like I said, 100 attempts, 574 yards, 13 touchdowns on the ground. Now, he did tack on some receptions last year in college out of Florida, 19 receptions, 216 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. So, again, you could say, well, he wasn't a full true workhorse running back, but the thing about it is that he was preserved in college, and he averaged 5.7 yards per carry last year. In 2020, 4.7 yards per carry. In 2019, 5.6, and then 6.1 in his 2018 first year at Florida. So, again, I'm seeing an opportunity here because the Texans don't have a full true workhorse running back. They just don't. I'm seeing an opportunity here, guys. I think Davis Mills is going to be ultra efficient. I've talked about this. And I think Damian Pierce is a big-time sleeper. And again, this guy could be the RB1. I'm seeing a safe floor of 6 rushing touchdowns, 600 yards on the ground, 20 receptions, 2 receiving touchdowns. You know, that's kind of a floor. Like we're not projecting a massive year. He could be a good flex play, but the ceiling is there if given the job. So again, big-time sleeper sitting 48th on the Concheapsis rankings. Guys like Ronald Jones, J.D. McKissick, Michael Carter, Naheem Hines, all sitting ahead of this guy, and this guy could be the starter. Big-time sleeper, guys. Do not sleep on this man that is Damian Pierce, okay? Got him at number 2. And again, no particular order here. I just got 5 running backs. Got to list them off for you guys. So, who's another sleeper that I'm talking about? It's obvious to me, and you might say he's not a sleeper, but he is because he's coming off 3rd round. This guy could be a top 5 running back. And guys, I'm not slowing down today. I got a lot of energy. When I talk running backs, when we talk sleepers, I get excited, right? And all of this is laid out in 16 rounds. So if you have not gotten 16 rounds, I'm telling you guys, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. Get the 16-round draft session. Linked it below, or head on over to thefantasyfootballaccounts.com and use that code TUBE20 because I'm handing you the win on a silver platter. This thing works, okay? It's a draft solution, not a draft kit. Draft kits and draft guides are dead. Again, back to my energy. So the third guy here, Breece Hall. Breece Hall sitting 18th on the consensus rankings. That's funny. He was sitting a little lower, moving up as Saquon Barkley did. He was a sleeper before. Now he's top 10. I just watched a preseason game, had a couple plays, looks explosive, looks good, looked good in camp. So I'm looking at Breece Hall as a third sleeper here, a big-time sleeper. And I know I'm talking rookies here, but that's where the value is. That's where the upside is. You're getting Breece Hall in the 3rd round. Yes, he lost Mekhi Becton. He lost his O-line right guard. He lost a big piece of the pie there that's really going to help him. They will acquire, at the time of this recording, I don't know if they've done it, but they were looking at another offensive lineman to replace him, a Pro Bowler, Brown there, Dwayne Brown. Hopefully I got that right. I'm not good with my O-line guys. But either way, Breece Hall should be okay. Talent is there. Opportunity is there. I'm not concerned about Michael Carter. And I did some math. We're looking at a floor of 220 attempts for Breece Hall, factoring in a regression with Michael Carter, who had 147 attempts, and all those bottom feeder running backs that accumulated to well over 120 plus attempts. So I'm looking at this mathematically, and I'm saying to myself, they're going to play their best player. They want to win. Zach Wilson's got something to prove. Breece Hall, the top prospect running back coming out of his NFL draft 2022, He's going to eat. And they already said amazing catch radius. They want to use him in the passing game. Breece Hall his name is Breece the Beast. He's a big-time sleeper. And you're saying, well, Joe, 18th on the consensus rankings as a rookie. That's not bad. That's not a sleeper, but it is, because this guy could finish top 5, top 10, and he's coming off in the 3rd round, whereas everyone's going to jump on the train next year potentially and draft him. Now, how do you draft these guys? Breece Hall, RB3 is part of a robust RB strategy. Don't go too wide receivers and get Breece Hall as your RB1. Don't do that, because we don't know 100%. As an RB3, I feel comfortable. As an RB1, I'm a little questioning. I'm questioning that situation here. But I'm telling you guys, I still think he's a sleeper. 3rd round value, amazing, sitting 18th on the consensus rankings right now, okay? And I don't really talk consensus. The only reason I talk consensus is because I use their guideline to really help my fans and listeners and everybody win, and how I win, because I leverage their stupidity, because I can take a guy and steal him in a certain round, be like, man, that's value, and I believe Breece Hall is that value this year, okay? Let's keep talking sleepers here. I got 2 more here for you, and again, make sure you guys are subscribed, leave a thumbs up, and let me know, guys, what do you think? Do you guys think these are good sleepers? Am I talking out of my you-know-what, or am I crazy? Let me know, okay? Now, I also want to do a disclaimer here when we're talking running backs. I don't really care so much about sleepers here. I stack heavy on my running backs early, right? First 3 rounds. And then I may grab 1 or 2 of these guys. But at the end of the day, I don't look at a guy like Naheem Hines or Michael Carter or Madison and call them sleepers, because we know what we're going to get out of them and they're not exciting, right? Like a guy like Damian Pierce who could really shine, that's a sleeper, right? A guy like Breece Hall, that's a sleeper. So again, I'm not really excited about certain players, like a Singletary, who's obviously sitting 33rd on the consensus rankings. You may call him a sleeper, but again, I don't see anything exciting there at all. So let's keep going here, guys. So again, so there isn't too many sleepers. I just want to tell you, again, I go for those guys top heavy, and I kind of fade those sleepers later. I may grab 1 or 2. All right. Now, I got to talk about this guy. I want to just get it out in the open. Number 4 here, Ezekiel Elliott. Still coming off in the 3rd round. His ADP's slightly coming up. He got that hit by Chubb there. They're having a competition, or they're playing. Who are they playing? The Broncos. He got a hard hit in a preseason training camp game. It wasn't even preseason. It was just training camp. It was just 2 teams going at it, and he took a hard hit. So now his stock is down. Everyone's like, oh, Zeke Elliott sucks. He's washed up. But he was looking good in training camp prior to that, and Jerry Jones is saying they got to run him. I talked to the beat writer. They said they got to run Zeke Elliott. I'm excited about Zeke Elliott because I like the value. Guy finished 7th last year amongst running backs. Now he's sitting 16th. Now, typically the consensus that Conchiefs is copy and paste, but they're really biased to certain players that they like. So in this case, Zeke Elliott not on their list, although sitting 16th amongst running backs, still not bad, but he's coming off typically in the 3rd round. I think he's got a safe floor. I still think he's being slept on, because he could finish as a top 5 running back yet again. I know Pollard's a factor, but again, what goes down must come up. I think he trends back upwards this year, does Zeke Elliott. And I'm looking at a floor of 240 attempts, 1,200 yards on the ground, 10 touchdowns, having a couple inconsistent games throughout the season, but relatively solid games throughout the season. So Zeke Elliott, I still think he's a sleeper, because we're talking 3rd round for a guy who finished 7th last year and is still the focal point of the Cowboys offense and still in great shape. He's still a guy, durable, strong, reliable. Do I like him as my RB1? No. Do I like him as my RB2? No. Do I like him as my RB3 in the 3rd round as part of a robust RB strategy? Absolutely. And that's where I would take him in the 3rd round. Now, a lot of people ask me, do I go Breece Hall? Do I go Zeke Elliott? That's a great question. And to answer that, I think it really depends and is predicated on your first 2 picks. So if I went wild card crazy and drafted 2 guys that I didn't really trust, which I wouldn't do, then I would go Zeke Elliott to get that security. If I went 2 secure running backs and I want that ceiling in the 3rd round, then I would probably go Breece Hall. And especially if you went wide receiver out of the first 2 picks and you have 1 running back, then you want to play a little bit safer with Zeke. But I still think Breece Hall does perform, and he has a great year. I like him as well. So that's 4 sleepers for you guys. Let's do 1 more. And there's a bunch I'm looking at. I can't decide here who I want to go with, but I have my eye on this guy, and I had it prepped that I would talk about this guy. So I'm going to talk about this guy because I genuinely feel he's a big-time sleeper. The guy I'm talking about here, and I've talked about him before, sitting 25th on the consensus rankings. The guy I'm talking about here is A.J. Dillon. Now, A.J. Dillon, guys, if you guys don't know this, I'm going to give you guys a wake-up call. I've talked about it in my other shows. If you guys are regular listeners, you guys get my drift and you get the point of what I'm trying to say here. A.J. Dillon was and is the RB1 on the Packers. Whoa, hold on a second. Joe, are you crazy? I need some sound effects here. Hold on. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah. Hold on. Let me drum roll this again. Let me say that again. A.J. Dillon is the RB1 on the Packers. And I had to get the drum roll in there because at the end of the day, if you look at the stats last year, A.J. Dillon had 187 attempts, 803 yards, 4.3 yards per carry, and 5 touchdowns. Aaron Jones had 171 attempts compared to the 187, 799 yards compared to the 803 of Dillon, and 4 touchdowns on the ground compared to A.J. Dillon. When you look at it from attempts, 187 to 171, they're running A.J. Dillon more. So if I'm not drafting A.J. Dillon, I have the know-how to know enough to avoid Aaron Jones. So be cautious with Aaron Jones. Dillon's going to be a pest, or I would say that Aaron Jones is the pest of the Dillon, and you're getting Dillon for a great value. So what I'm saying is instead of getting Aaron Jones in the second round, you get yourself a Dillon, later, whatever ADP he's going. Let me just take a quick glance here. He's 25th. So we're looking at what? 4th round, 4th, 5th round. I would probably go Dillon if I had, especially if I'm desperate for a running back and I want wide receiver early. Dillon is far more appealing to me. Young, dynamic, exciting, stronger, workhorse guy than Aaron Jones. The only thing Aaron Jones has going for him is that Adams is gone, and Aaron Jones performs well with Adams gone, so he gets an uptick in receptions. But overall, guys, I'm not excited at all about Aaron Jones. And I'm warning you guys, Dillon could be this, should be the RB1, okay? So he's a big-time sleeper. There you have it, guys. And there's more, guys. I'll give you a bonus one here. Tyler Algier, a bit of a reach here, but you could get some volume there. Tyler Algier, make a note there as well. And there's more. If you want them all, 16-round drafts, you can use code 220 and join the Patreon group. It's called Fantasy Frontlines Patreon group. Linked it below as well, or go to patreon.com/FFcounselor. And remember to use that code when you get Hooters, FFC20. Save yourself $10 on an order of $30 or more. Hooters.com, download the app, or go to the website. Subscribe, guys. I'm out. There's some running back sleepers for you. Go do with that information what you will. You've got more tools in your arsenal. Fantasy football is around the corner. I'm out.